It is indeed. Poof! It's got a good eye spotting me. Ah, thanks, man. I like to think my eyesight kind of sucks, at least from like range. Where did I put my glasses anyway? I have glasses somewhere around here. You don't get to see glasses, Harmonia, a whole lot. I think they're in my bag. Hold on. My eyesight at a distance, like for this kind of distance, is completely fine. But at a distance, trying to like read finer details from afar, I just cannot. It freaking sucks. Ah. So you don't really get to see this look a whole lot. Like, this looks mostly the same. It looks a bit more vivid, actually. Huh. I don't wear these very often. Like, it's very seldom. But, let's see here. Just so we're all on the same page, your job is that there's a little old lady who lives in the middle of nowhere, and some pays you to take care of her, basically. Gotcha. And hello, Politico Stefan. Speaking of Tales of Arise, do you have any thoughts on the Game Awards for tomorrow night, or on Arise being nominated for RPG of the Year? I think that seems... Like, I saw that Cyberpunk was one of the, thingamabobs. We talked about it a little bit in the Discord server. I don't remember all of the ones that were nominated there, but I actually really enjoyed Tales of Arise. There was only like one really big thing about that game that I absolutely hated, despised, and thought that it was like the worst thing ever, and that was the in-game shop and like paywalls and stuff. The fact that in a single-player game, you can literally pay real-life money for individual levels or in-game currency. Or things like, do you want double experience and SP until the end of time? That'll be a $7 Canadian paywall. Do you want to be able to hold up to 99 of consumable items instead of 15? That's another $7 paywall. Like, a whole bunch of stuff like that. It's like, what the hell? So, whoever's responsible for the monetization in that game, oh my goodness gracious, that was freaking awful. But apart from that thing making me hella salty about Tales of Arise, I really like Tales of Arise. And it was and I've talked about Tales of Arise before, about, talking about how I've gone into games before with, like, a negative viewpoint like that, and I've had my mind change seeing that there's other stuff about them to enjoy. Where I went into Tales of Arise already, not liking it because of that, but I wanted to cover it and see, what was going on for, like, the Tales series and whatnot since then, because the only other one that I played was Vesperia. I was like, okay, I want to see how, this series has, like, learned and grown since then and whatnot, and cover it on my channel and such. But I went into it already having, like, a big prejudice against it because of that over-monetization, and the multiple game editions and such. And I still hate that aspect, but the game itself, that was a really dang good game, and I thought it was really cool. It had a story that really resonated with me personally because, it had themes of, loneliness and whatnot, and it had a really interesting story that I could, like, really resonate with in a way. So I really quite liked the game itself a whole lot. So, that was a good example of going into a game and going into a game already not liking it and having my mind changed about it. I went into this game not liking it, and what's changed? Some things have. Like, I love the battle environments. Like, look at Mount Coronet in the background there. That's so dang cool. There are some cool parts about this game, or the remastered soundtrack that we don't get to listen to. But most of this game is just kind of is the way that I've been feeling. But yeah. Let's see here. Mom was there helping you carry it on the other side bookshelf. Came way too close to caving in your chest. Yeah, that sounds no bueno at all. Other compares besides Arise and Cyberpunk for RPG of the Year. Monster Hunter Rise, Scarlet Nexus, Shin Megami Tensei 5. Tried any of those? I have not, actually. That's probably why I'm not super familiar with them. And the only reason that I was familiar with Cyberpunk was because of, like, the whole situation going on around that, which was, oh boy, certainly something. I do have to say. I've only tried one Monster Hunter game before, and it was Double Cross or Generations Ultimate or something like that on the Switch. And after I played it, it was like, okay, I get why people like this, but it's not for me. It was kind of like when I played Animal Crossing New Horizons on this channel, which Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, or whatever the heck it was on the Switch, and Animal Crossing New Horizons are like two of the very few playthroughs that have been done on this channel that weren't, like, finished, where I didn't really get to the end, where I, like, quit partway through. I do that very seldomly with playthroughs on this channel, but both of them were those kinds of cases, because it was like, I definitely get why people like it, but it's just not my cup of tea, for both those kinds of things. So I haven't actually played any other Monster Hunter games apart from that, just because it wasn't really quite for me. Wasn't quite my style there. I have a cousin who's really into Monster Hunter though, and he's talked to me before about it and whatnot. I'm not quite familiar with Scarlet Nexus. Shin Megami Tensei 5 I've heard a decent bit about after the Pokémon video essay that I made, with a lot of people either in YouTube comments or the Discord server being like, oh, if you don't like the way that Pokemon's going, you should try out Shin Megami Tensei. And like, I've been meaning to for a long time. There's a lot of series or like IPs that I've wanted to try out on this channel that I've never played before. Like Persona and Shin Megami Tensei, or things like Metal Gear and Mass Effect, stuff like that, where I've never played it before, but I'd really like to. So, Persona and Shin Megami Tensei, Persona is an offshoot of Shin Megami Tensei, right? I think we had this conversation, like, earlier this playthrough even, at some point that I don't remember. But, at one point, I would definitely like to cover both those things. But my game schedule is a little bit crazy. I might not be able to for a while. But I have heard good things about Shin Megami Tensei 5 for sure. Like, we may play it on this channel one day, maybe, but no promises for any time soon. It's just on the mental to-do list for one day. One day! You know, RPG of the Year is clearly Dragon Quest XI-S, Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition for the Google Stadia. Heck yeah! Heck yeah, it totally is. But yeah, Persona is a spin-off of Shin Megami Tensei, and if you ever get the two confused, the fandoms of both will burn you at the stake. Oh man, let's see here. I'll just switch to Akira here, I suppose. This is what we can go ahead and do. Ice doesn't resist flying, does it? So this should still be super effective against Snover's grass type, probably. Like, I could have just switched to Klexus for Flamethrower. That is only a slight exaggeration. Well, I believe it. I believe it. I've had a lot of people who've wanted to, like, burn me at the stake in, like, the comments of my Pokemon video essay, and even a couple instances in the comments of this playthrough, interestingly enough. Usually those in the comments of this playthrough are like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you're playing this game after you did that video essay, like, criticizing the whole thing. And then you bought it anyway? It's like, yeah, because that's my freaking channel and my content, and I'm sharing my, my viewpoint here. I'm like a reviewer, you know, covering stuff, and I'm working on making my whole review with a video essay that I'm working on for this game, you know? Because as surprising as it's been for me to see, there are awesome people that genuinely care about, you know, what my takes are on X thing. So that's what I'm sharing, you know? Rainy days make me feel blue, but the instant it starts to snow, I'm happy as can be. So is anybody who has like a negative review or like an established negative viewpoint towards X thing not allowed to like go in and review stuff? Maybe it's their job to review things, you know, and like cover stuff. Ah! My goodness, it's just a weird place. But I have definitely had some people on the Pokemon video essay and even this playthrough sometimes that do kind of seem like they want to burn me at the stake. Because I'm playing this game. Some people seem to really hate that, so that's something. I appreciate the follow there. Hey, you're awake. You tried to cross the border. The conditions weren't very good. Yeah, this does seem like pretty silly conditions here in the snow on Markiplier, raided with a party of 2. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. I most certainly was not expecting the Spanish Inquisition. I appreciate the raid there, Markiplier. How are you doing today? What was just on the stream agenda for today, if you don't mind me asking? What were you just streaming over there? Up we go. We'll fight this dudo, this other kiddo, and stuff. There are several kinds of ninjas. Are you an ILCA or Kuga ninja? I don't know. I don't consider myself much of a ninja at all. Ninja boy Ethan, huh? I am a martial artist, but I don't think I'd ever call myself a ninja. I don't think I'd ever do that. Not good. 5 hours of Cynthia embarrassing you in front of your chat. Oh no, so was it the same game here? Because I've heard the Elite Four and Champion is apparently like a big difficulty spike. In fact, we were talking about it earlier just a bit earlier. Hello, exciting intro. Been 12 years and he still didn't beat Cynthia. Bye. It's been 12 years. Well then, and how are you doing today, intro? Boopity bop. Were you just coming from the raid then? I take it, perhaps? Same game. Gotcha. How do you feel about these games so far? I've been asking asking fellow streamers I know, out of curiosity, how they've been feeling about these games here. Go on, Soliel! And without the context of a little bit earlier, just before the raid, where we were talking about people burning me at the stake for opinions on Pokemon. Ignoring all that, you have no idea what that was all about. I'd like to know. You know, it has been a while. How have things been there? Do you like my glasses? Do you like my mustache? When I was out working on the freaking icy walks out front, the neighbor was out and he complimented me on my mustache. I honestly forgot that I had a mustache until he complimented me on it. And I was like, oh, yeah, I have a mustache, don't I? And I honestly forgot about that. Part of me is, like, since we've been growing it out for a decent while on the channel here, part of me is tempted to, like, I don't think this will become a permanent thing. I'm sure I'll shave it off eventually. Part of me is tempted to, on the day that I shave it off, buy, like, a fake mustache, like a super cartoony fake mustache to plaster on, and during the next time on stream, take it off and be like, aha, it was fake the whole time. I fooled you all, you know? It's a thing. Oh, the rock climbs out in the snow. That's something that I'm thinking about maybe doing, and it'd be hella funny and stuff. Hello, some white guy. Play the originals, didn't pay attention to our team to see if it changed at all. I assume that the team is the same, but I've heard that apparently everyone in the Elite Four and Champion has gotten like, oh, it's just right here, has gotten like competitive EVs, IVs, items, and like movesets and stuff. But I'm fairly certain the teams themselves are the same. I'm like 90% sure, but don't quote me on it. Yeah, I really enjoyed your playthroughs, but never got to play the originals. Unpopular opinion, you were in love with the chibi style. Boopity bop. Wait, what's this? You found the TM? I've already given up on the TM for lost. You found it. You're supposed to keep my friend making good use of it. I like your honesty, though. Let me reward you with this. Thanks for the icicle plate. I appreciate it. Very nice mustache. Thanks, Citro. I think engraved on the back of the... Here's a good fairy type will do wonders for the fight. I definitely believe that. I've heard about Cynthia's Garchomp having the item that reduces like a super effective ice type attack, which is sweetly something, you know. Been skiing with Pokemon since I was just 5 years old. Whoa, isn't that crazy? But yeah, when it comes to like the stuff that we're doing on the channel here, we just played Pokemon Platinum like, you know, a couple of months back. Well, we started in like May and did like a playthrough for a couple months for the main game, and then took a several month break, and then came back for a couple months to do the post game stuff. And because I've just recently played Platinum, like, you know, just finished that up like a few months before starting this, I haven't been super enthused about it because I feel like I'm basically playing the exact same thing, except like different, better in some ways, worse in others. And it's weird, you know? But yeah, have a good night. You're gonna go and eat, enjoy the stream. Alright, appreciate the raid once again, back and play. I hope you have some good foods, and take care. Have an awesome rest of the day. Mouse is buffeted by the hail. Ow! What the hell? At least we don't have to worry about any acid rain in this playthrough here. I'll just stick out with Malos, I guess, I suppose, or something. Is what I shall do, sure. Okie doke, boobity bop. Well, earthquake. Earthquake just like that. Boopity bop. I'm thinking after this battle, I might go back to the Healy room thingamabob. Not necessarily because I need the heals, but more so just because that'll be like a good logical place to break this up into parts when I'm cutting it up into parts later, as I'm looking at like how long has been streamed thus far, you know. It's probably not a bad idea. Go through the snow. I could just imagine the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon through the snow theme playing. Okay, the building was a little bit farther than I thought it was, so maybe it wasn't as worth it, but whatever. Whatever. Through the... Darn you, random encounter. How dare. I'm gonna take off my glasses as well, is what I'm gonna do. That's enough of glasses on for now. Can leave that be, methinks. It's hailing. Mouse is awaiting your directions. I'm getting out of here. Flood using its smoke ball. Wow. Don't know how you throw down a smoke ball, but I won't question it. It's better that I don't, in all honesty. Alright, take a rest. Take a quick sleep, and then we can continue on our journey to Snowpoint City. Alright, back on the quest to Snowpoint after a random encounter. Like, we'll probably reach Snowpoint here, like, very, very soon, and this will probably be, like, the fastest trek that I've ever made to Snowpoint from, like, you know, playing Generation 4 Pokemon before, honestly. Is most likely what it will be. Get out of here, Sneasel. I don't have allergies right now. I don't need to be sneezing right now, you silly Sneasel. Anyway, what else is there to talk about with happenings going on? I suppose with the crazy amount of freezing rain that happened here last night, and you know, outside feeling kind of like this does in a way, and going out and working on the ice out there. When the neighbor was out and saying hi, one of the things that he actually mentioned to me was he'd like to talk to me at some point about YouTube related stuff, because I've heard about him being a YouTuber himself. I've never seen his channel before. He's never given it to me. You know, I've just heard about it during, like, you know, gatherings around the neighborhood and whatnot and such. And I talked to him briefly about it, but he never told me exactly what his channel was or anything like that. And he knows that I'm a YouTuber and such, but I wasn't sure if he ever, like, wanted, you know, my input or anything like that. But, oh, come on! I missed a 95! Come on! Unbelievable. Anyway, when he was out earlier today, he was asking if at some point we could have a discussion about YouTube related stuff. I was like, okay, yeah, can do. But yeah, it was snowing, hailing, and raining at the same time while you were on your way to work. So it was basically like the acid rain glitch during our Pokemon Platinum playthrough is what you're telling me. It's basically what it was, essentially. Basically, right? Sneasel again. I'm just gonna use Funny King Klexos here is what I'm going to do. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, methinks. But yeah, I've still never actually seen any of his content, but I've heard from my family and whatnot that apparently he posts like workout videos and like biking videos and stuff like that. Apparently, from what I hear. So that's certainly something. Imagine if we were playing Platinum right now. This would actually be good and not just bad good. Yeah, you know, in a way, as weird as it is to say, while playing this, part of me does actually miss, like, the Pokemon Platinum playthrough. Like, the Pokemon Platinum playthrough is probably, like, one of the most fun playthroughs I've done in, like, a good while. Like, part of me is tempted to, at the end of 2021 here, just, like, make not even an official video for it, but just, like, during one of these playthroughs, just form, like, a really quick list of, like, what were my top favorite playthroughs I had the most fun doing over the course of the year, you know? Person, a rare sight, thank you for visiting, a gift. So not like a top 10 games this year kind of thing, but like a top 10. What were the games that I had the most fun doing a playthrough of, that I did a playthrough of this year? Pokemon Platinum would be up there. What would be like my most fun playthrough that I did this year at all? I guess this is the Ice Stone. What would it be? I've been having a decent bit of fun with the Minecraft stuff that I've only just started for the, you know, highly edited stuff that we're doing and thingamabobs and stuff. Hi, Mr. Dudo. Make sure more agile. I always dress light. And some other news with when it comes to video editing projects. At the time of streaming this on the 8th of December, earlier today I posted the final episode of Creators Collide for the year, being the session of Civilization 6 that I did with Dark Deities director Chip Moore. And we didn't actually get to finish the game. We got like a decent bit in. I don't know if we're gonna finish it at some later date. We'll see. We shall see what happens when it comes to that. But I wanted to get that out this week, and then I figured like next week is when I'd start uploading Minecraft stuff. So anybody, you know, watching this later, the Minecraft stuff is almost certainly already up and whatnot. But at the time of streaming this, I've just I've been working on editing it recently. I think I have the first 2 episodes basically done. I have like the framework at the ready for the 3rd, and we'll see what comes of it, I suppose, and see what happens. But I figured like one big editing project a week is more than enough. So I got this Creators Collide thing we're brought about this week, and then you know, next week is when I'm gonna try doing like the highly edited Minecraft series stuff, and I'm gonna aim for like once a week, like stuff like this where, you know, I'm playing a game for, you know, several hour-long sessions, then I cut it up into parts. Like, that's pretty easy to make like a daily upload routine and just schedule them up like one a day like this. Like, that's relatively simple to do. But the highly edited stuff, this is my first time doing like a super highly edited series like that. I'm gonna shoot for once a week, but if I can't if I can't feasibly achieve it like consistently for once a week, it might have to become like, you know, more infrequent and random. We'll see. I'll be shooting for once a week, but if I'll actually be able to achieve that, that's the real question here. But yeah, favorite playthrough of yours is probably Bravely Default, especially the episode where he went on like a 15-minute tangent about IGN and all their failures. Wasn't that episode of Bravely Default literally just called like Screw IGN or something like that? I don't remember what it was. Do you have Sturdy or something? You must. Bravely Default was like an interesting time because like this was during the early days of the channel before I like really committed hard to playthroughs that were ongoing. Playthroughs that were ongoing in like the early days of the channel were just kind of like it goes on from time to time kind of thing when I really feel like it. So I think it took me like half a year to get through Bravely Default, which is a game that should not take you half a year to get through. How the hell took about? But I think that playthrough went on over the course of like half a year. But it was definitely like a fun playthrough to do that. I was really glad I did. I had a lot more fun with Bravely Second because like gameplay wise and such, that's a game that I'm a lot more passionate about, especially considering it doesn't have like the big lull that is the second half of the story like Bravely Default 1 where it's like, oh, the 4 main bosses of the game, how about you go around beating them like 4 more times? That sounds fun, our players are gonna love that one. Like, I get it, it's for the story and stuff and makes sense that way. But oh my goodness, it's so boring! Strainer, Olivia. I guess there's side quests and stuff. But I had a lot more fun with Bravely Second. And then Bravely Default 2. While that has like one of my favorite soundtracks on the Switch at all. To the point that like I've thought about doing like top 10 lists or top 5 lists for like fun other things before on this channel. And I've thought about doing like top 10 or top 5 favorite soundtracks on the Switch, and Bravely Default 2 would be up there. But oh my goodness, I hated playing Bravely Default 2. The story was a freaking mess. The gameplay was so dang weird. And like things like physical attack counter. Oh, you hit the boss? How about the boss just takes off like half the HP of your entire party? Yeah, that sounds cool. I'm sure our players are gonna love that one. Can't wait to bring this into the board meeting tomorrow. Like, I can tell you right now, in terms of gameplay, I'm having more fun playing this than I did Bravely Default 2, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm salty towards Bravely Default 2, and that's something that I've been thinking about making a video essay on for like a good while, and I might still. Like, if I do a video essay on this game, then I would still be able to like semi-strike while the iron's hot and get like those algorithm brownie points by like, you know, having a video on something while it's still relevant in a way. And something that's very controversial like this. You gotta get them algorithm brownie points. But at this point, everybody's forgotten about freaking Bravely Default 2. Like, I'm not gonna get any algorithm brownie points by doing a video essay on Bravely Default 2. But I'm still thinking about making one anyway, just because, like, I have a lot that I've, like, kept deep inside me about Bravely Default 2. Like, if I had the choice between playing either Pokémon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl or Bravely Default 2, I'm gonna be honest. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl is what I'd honestly take if I'm gonna be frank. But so there's that and whatnot. So in terms of like my favorite playthroughs on this channel, if I had to rank the Bravely Default trilogy, the one that I had the most fun with was Bravely Second, then Bravely Default, and then Bravely Default 2 at the bottom. So there you have my top 3 Bravely Default games I've played on this channel. There you have it, in terms of like how much fun I had with playthroughs. There's our top 3. I wonder what my list would be of Pokemon games I've played on this channel if you count main series. Because all I've done for like main series Pokemon games on this channel are the Switch games and Platinum. How would I rank those for like how much fun I've had with the playthrough? But yeah, if they wait, let's see here. Made different crystal monster for the other worlds that could have easily gotten away with the second half of the first game. Oh, for sure. Like, if it was actually, you know, like different bosses per world in like some really cool way, that would have been really neat to see. This is an item, right? It's not even. I feel robbed. But oh my goodness, the second half of Bravely Default, what a slog. The entire game of Bravely Default 2, what a slug. No, Bravely Default 2 had some really cool things about it, but also a lot of really uncool things about it. Could have been for hours about Bravely Default 2's same. At some point, I might do like a whole dedicated video on Bravely Default 2. And at some point, I might do the same for Age of Calamity now that my Age of Calamity playthrough is done. Now that all the DLC for it is out, I've actually the reason why it's here is I've actually been playing a little bit of Age of Calamity off camera recently, of like collecting Korok seeds, because I'm still debating about like potentially doing some more side stuff. Like the main part of our playthrough and all the story content is done now, but I don't know. It is still a fun game. It is still definitely that. We're gonna make sure Snowpoint's gym leader doesn't disturb us. Wow, it is crazy. Maybe Cyberpunk 2077 did deserve to be nominated RPG of the Year, where Bravely Default 2 was not. Yeah, Bravely Default 2 felt like one of those games that had like so much potential, but just didn't capitalize on it. Like, is very much what it felt like. That's kind of what Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl feels like to me, where it had so much potential, but just didn't capitalize on it. Is how I feel like about this game as well. Like, the one thing that I absolutely adore, like there's no reservations I have about it at all, just absolutely completely adore about Bravely Default 2, is absolutely the soundtrack. Oh my goodness, Revo is a musical genius, and that has to be like one of my favorite soundtracks on the Switch. If I made, just on the spot right now, what would be my favorite soundtracks on the Switch? What would it be anyway? Like, without any order, the top 3 would have to be Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Octopath Traveler, and Bravely Default 2. I don't know what order I'd put them in, but those 3 would be like the top 3 I can say for certain. But yeah, story counters are stupid. Jumps themselves aren't anything new except for the new interpretation Spirit Master. But hey, they have a card. Yeah, there is the card game. There is the whole side game card game that, you know, I can see how it'd be possible to get addicted to, you know, which I thought was rather interesting. But the Pokemon, like, if I do like right on the spot make like a list for like the Pokemon games I've done a playthrough of on the channel so far, for main series at least, which are, you know, I did Let's Go Eevee, I did both Pokemon Sword and Shield, there's this game, and then there's Pokemon Platinum that I did. Welcome back, hey you awake? How would I order that? The ones I had the most fun with was probably Platinum. Sword and Shield is probably a close second. Like, to the point that one could make an argument for it being like me having more fun with it than Platinum. I mean, I feel like we had like a lot more shenanigans with Platinum. So Platinum, Platinum would be like number 1 for like most enjoyment. Sword and Shield will probably be like second, most likely. Because at the end of the day, I did like those games. I just didn't like some of the like business decisions and like practices behind them. A lot of things made me go like, oh, you know. And then Let's Go third, and then this fourth. Is what it would be for the 4 main series Pokemon games I've played on this channel so far. We'll probably play like more Pokemon games on this channel, like down the line. Like, we'll be doing Legends Arceus, for example. But like the main series with this kind of format, we'll probably be doing like some more games in the near future. Like Shuck and I have been who I'm doing the co-op Minecraft series with over on her channel, and who will be doing some co-op FNAF stuff. Well, by co-op, I mean like just trading who's playing with a new FNAF game that's releasing in the near future, which will already be out by the time this is up on YouTube. But Shuck, that nerd there, we were talking about potentially sometime after our co-op Minecraft stuff together, and sometime after I'm done all my stuff with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl on Legends Arceus, we've talked about doing a Pokemon Sun and Moon Soul Link. I've probably shown this a few times already, where it's like, you know, there's her logo over there doing Pokemon Sun, and here's, you know, my hat logo over here doing Pokemon Moon, and you have the space for like the top screen and the bottom screen on both these thingamabobs, and like all the Z crystals and stuff and whatnot, and space for like the 6 Pokemon and what's assigned to what. I've never done like a Nuzlocke or a Soul Link or anything like that before, so that might be a future project. So you know, we'll probably be I know that for sure. I like the frost effects on this. This is actually really cool. Look at that. How it's all like frosty frozen over. I actually really like the look of that, quite frankly. I like that frosty look. I do like that. But yeah, the day will come that we will do more Pokemon main series games on the channel. That isn't just new releases like playing all the Switch games has been. Actually going back to cover older titles like we did with Platinum. Though Platinum was also in preparation for this, to be fair. And if we do, the one that would be next is most likely Sun and Moon. No promises. I don't want to make any guarantees. But probably sometime after Legends Arceus, if we're going to cover another main series Pokemon game, next one would probably be Sun and Moon. I give it like a I give it like a 70% chance, maybe 75% chance that next main series game will be Sun and Moon. But I don't know. Did you know that you can soft lock yourself in this gym apparently? It's apparently a thing. Particularly mad about the jobs like Bravely Second story is insanely boring. But fuck, the jobs in that game are so insanely fun, yet none of them return except for Fencer, who only comes back as a fusion with the Swordmaster. I really like Bravely Second's Fenster. Fenster? Why am I saying window in German? I'm not, okay, whatever. Let's go do the gym now, I guess.